Past exam questions on fractions. Question number 1. Use your calculator to work out 4.7 divided by 9.4, take 3.5. Write down all the figures. Fairly obvious. There you go. Write this number in order of size. Well, if you've got a calculator, convert them all to decimals like I've done, then write them in order of size, but don't forget to actually write them as the numbers they were at the top. Don't put the decimal numbers down here, put the numbers they were originally. Question 2, fill in a two-way table. You can see the ones I've filled in there. Obviously that, add that must equal that. And for example, that, add that must equal that, and so on. Question number 3, a concert ticket costs £45 plus a booking charge of 15%. Work it out. I've done it the old-fashioned way, but it's £51.75p. A lot of you could probably do it by the multiply method, but just as long as you get your workings and get your 3 marks, that's fine. Question 4, a shop sells CDs and DVDs. In 1 week, the number of CDs sold and the number of DVDs sold were in the ratio of 3 to 5. So the CDs were 3 and the DVDs were 3 to 5. So what I've done, because it's 8 parts altogether, 3/8 of the sales were CDs and 5/8 were DVDs. They've sold 723, work out the number of CDs sold. So you want 3/8 of 728. So 1/8 is 91, so 3/8, 391s is 273. Question number 5. Michael buys 3 cartons of milk. The total cost of these cartons of milk is £4.20. What's the cost of 7 cartons? I've divided it by 3 to work out the cost of 1 carton, which is £1.40. Then I multiplied it by 7 to give me £9.80. Andy sells CDs. He sells each CD for £8.80 plus VAT at 17.5%. He sells 650 CDs. How much money does he receive? First of all, we need to add on the 17.5%. I've done that via the multiply method. So multiply by 1 to increase it, 0.175, and it's £10.34 per CD, and 650 lots of that is £6,721. Question 7. 3 boys shared £48 in the ratio 5 to 4 to 3. That's 12 parts. Daniel received the smallest amount, so Daniel is probably the 3. How much did he receive? Well, it's 48 quid altogether, and there's 12 parts. So 1 part is £4. The smallest bit is 3 parts, so 3 4s are 12. That's how much Daniel gets. A year ago, Daniel's height was 1.24 metres, and it's increased by 9.5%. Work out his height now. 9.5% is 0.095 as a decimal. So I've done 124 times 1 to keep the 1.24. 1.24, by 1.095 equals that. I would round it to 2 decimal places because that's what you're given in the question. So that's an appropriate degree of accuracy. So 1.36 brackets, and tell them it's 2 decimal places. Question number 8. Garage sells British and foreign cars. The ratio of the number of British cars sold to the number of foreign cars is 2 to 7. So 2 of them are British, 7 being foreign. They sell 45 cars in a week. Work out the number of British cars the garage sold that week. So what I've done, I convert it to a fraction. So 2 to 7, it's 9 parts altogether. So that's 2/9 and that's 7/9. So 1/9 is 5. So if the British sold 2/9, 2/9 would be 10. A car tyre costs £80 plus VAT at 17.5%. I've used the multiply method. 80 times 1 to keep it the same, 0.175, 94 quid. 3 marks for that. I thought it was quite generous. The value of a new car is £12,000. The value of the car depreciates. Depreciates mean goes down. And if you didn't know that, you can probably figure it out, because if you buy a new car, it's going to go down in value more often than not, by 20% each year. So work out the value after 2 years. 2 ways of doing it. You can take off 20% to give you that, then you take off 20% again to give you that, or some of you might use the multiply method. So 12,000 times 0.8, and that's the multiplier to reduce by 20%, but it's to the power 2 because it's for 2 years, and you get the same answer, 7680. Question number 9. There are some sweets in a bag. 18 are toffees, 12 are mints. Simplify the ratio, 3 to 2. There you go. There are some oranges and apples in a box. The total number of oranges is 54. The ratio is 1 to 5, oranges to apples. Work out the number of apples in the box. So there's 54 oranges. So 1 to 5, that's oranges is 1/6 and apples is 5/6. Work out the number of apples in a box. The total number of oranges and apples is 54. So if you want to work out basically 5/6 of 54, which is 45. Question number 10. Toby invested £4,500 for 2 years into a savings account. It was paid 4% per annum compound interest. Compound interest means you add on the 4%, then the next year you add on 4%, but you also add on the 4% to what he earned as well. So you can do it 2 ways. This is the old-fashioned way, I suppose, multiply method. You do it twice, or this is the one a bit more sophisticated, where you do £4,500 times 1.04. And you square it because it's for 2 years, so it's the power 2. And there's your answer. Jasper invested £2,400 for N years into a savings account. He was paid 7.5% per annum in compound interest. At the end of the N years, he had £3,445.51. Work out the value of N. So 2 ways of doing it. You can just method 1, just keep adding 7.5% by multiplying by 1.075 each time. Or method 2, which is the better method, basically use trial and error by using this method above. This one here I pointed to when you use the squared or to the power 2. I've done that and I've worked it out. It was 5 years because it's 2,400 times 1.075 and to the power 5 gives you that. So it's 5 years. Question number 11. Work out that divided by that. Chances are you won't have a calculator for this. That is dividing, by the way. It looks like an add, but it is dividing on my sheet. I'll prove it to you. There you go. 2/3 divided by 5/6. First thing you do is you flip over the second one. So it's 2/3 times 6/5. Then you change it to a times sign. So 2 6s are 12, 3 5s are 15. Simplify it. You should get 4/5 as your answer. Work out that, take away that. What I do is convert them into top-heavy fractions first, or improper fractions if you like. So that's 7/3 take away 7/5. Get the bottom number the same, so 3 and 5 both go into 15. Adjust the top ones as well. So you've got 35/15, take 21/15, which is 14/15, and that is your final answer. And there are your past exam questions on fractions.